Anti-Gravity Batteries offers the lightest, most powerful, and technologically advanced lithium-ion motorsports and power sports batteries available. Save 70% in weight over lead-acid batteries while gaining better starting and handling performance. From daily drivers to world-class racing, we offer a number of choices to best fit your specific needs. Batteries for motorcycle power sports or automotive applications are first ever, that's right, first ever built-in jump starting, or choose from our ultra-compact batteries for race use or custom builds. Check us out at antigravitybatteries.com. All right, guys, we just wrapped it up here at Redbud for the two strokes. Fun day. As you guys know, I'm pretty transparent. I'm not the hugest two-stroke lover. So, granted, when I heard about this whole event, I was like, cool, it's going to be two strokes, going to have all of them. But what I really was wanting to know about was the fuel injection. It's electronic power valve. All these things are different. The engine, the chassis, everything is reconfigured. So I was excited to ride all of these bikes. Last time I rode a 125 was a few months ago. I've been riding a 252 stroke recently. As you guys know, I've been helping Darkside with his bike, and he was on a 252 stroke. So got a chance to only ride these bikes 5 laps. That's right. Sorry, unfortunately, KTM only wanted us to ride 5 laps each on the 125, the 250, and the 300. So I'm only going to give you what I feel like quick first impressions of each. Now, they do have a map switch, just like the big bikes, the 4-strokes. Map 1, which we call the top map, and there's a bottom map. Top map is a more linear, longer map. The bottom map, map 2, is a harder hitting map. So right here, you're looking at a 125. My son recently, 2020, was on a YZ 125. He actually came off of this bike and said, man, I can't believe how long it pulls. So I got on it, 2 laps, granted. Went 1 lap with map 1, 1 lap with map 2. Map 2 is more of like the vet guy map, harder hitting. And if I can try to relate what it feels like from going from carburation to this fuel-injected bike, it's just a little bit smoother off the crack of the throttle, but then it builds up RPMs really quick. So for me, it pulls a little bit longer than the previous generation KTMs, but that excitement, immediate RPM response is a little bit less than the carburation bikes. Now, that isn't a bad thing. It actually has more rear-wheel connection from where I come from. Out in California, obviously there's not a lot of traction. We had a lot of traction here at Redbud, but the 125, super fun to ride. I can shift to third gear pretty early, get out of the soft stuff. Of course, Redbud's really soft out of the corners, but very fun 125. And the most important thing for me, it's clean. Like, there's no hiccups in this 125. I didn't feel like there was any decel pop. It didn't feel rich. It just feels super connected from the throttle to the rear wheel. Now, as the size went up, 250 and 300, we'll just lump those guys together, I got more excited. I rode the 250, and here today at Redbud, it felt a little bit lean on top end. I felt like it had a little bit of detonation. So KTM is dialing in the fuel injection as we speak right now. The R&D team back in California are doing some things before these bikes get to production, which they won't be at dealerships until late August, early September. So don't get too excited. I know we're only in May right now, but these bikes are going to be a little bit longer because they need to be fine-tuned just a little bit, especially the 250. The 250, for me, lots of low end. Unlike the 125, has lots of RPM response, lots of excitement down low, and will break traction in map 1. Map 2, you better hold on because, man, if you come out of a corner, especially one of these ruts at Redbud, it'll stand up really quick. So I can ride third gear on the 250 and just fan the clutch a little bit and has a lot of recovery. So that was good. Now, going on to 300 last, I was thinking, man, I hope it's not lean like the 250. I told the R&D guys here, I feel like you could get a little bit more pulling power on the 250 if we richened it up a little bit with the fuel injection. So I got on the 300, and I'm actually happy to say that was the most fun bike that I rode all day at Redbud. I rode 250F, 350, 450, 125, 252 stroke. Get on the 300. It's like riding a 4-stroke, but with more excitement, no engine braking, and side-to-side movement feels like a 125. It's amazing. So I come back with a smile on my face. Granted, 5 laps. I hogged the bike. I actually did a little bit more than 5 laps. But there's so much torque on a 300. It's like cheating. You come out of a corner, and I got back on a 450 four-stroke after I rode the 300, and I was like, I think this 300 pulls harder immediately out of a corner. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I had to go back and forth a couple times. So I told the guys, I need an extra 5 laps. So I went back out on it. You can see in the GoPro. It took me a little while to learn how to ride because it's very light, very free off of jumps, but it's just exciting. The beauty of this is like it's a vet guy's dream, the 300. You could lug it, you could rev it. I can roll third gear in the corners. Map 2 for me is the way to go on the 300 because it has a lot of low end, but yet it doesn't break traction. So it was just a very exciting feeling, and I never had to worry about jetting. On the older model KTMs, it had a little bit of a bog when I loaded it up a face, and I never really felt comfortable. So with the new fuel injection, I mean, it's just going to change the way we all think about two-strokes, especially me. And like I said, I'm not a big two-stroke guy, so the 300 for me was the icing on the cake for this whole day. Very fun to ride. A couple things I want to note. Can't really talk about suspension that much because I got 5 laps, but they are soft-natured. They move a lot. There is a lot of comfort. For me, in the WP world, that says something because the WP fork and shock takes some time to break in. I felt like these bikes only had a few hours on them, and it felt pretty good. Another thing that I really liked, you can hear the two-stroke in the background right now, is the vibration is down on these new bikes. Vibration was very high on the KTMs last year, and I get on these things now, and they hardly vibrate. They still got the stiff-natured bar, but I don't get a lot of vibration through my hands and feet like I did in the previous year's model. So if you guys are worried about vibration coming back from a KTM, this new 2023 line doesn't vibrate that much. So I'm excited to put more time on these things. I apologize I can't get more information out to you, but we're only allowed an allotment of time on these two-strokes. But I knew you guys wanted to know about them and get pumped up. Maybe put a deposit down on one because I know these 300s are going to fly off the dealer room floors. They're going to be gone. So look for more tests over on racerxonline.com. Probably around August, we're going to do some more two-stroke stuff. But they are coming. They do work. And the new fuel injection is like magic for two-stroke guys. You still have to mix gas. And for me, you guys are like, coming from a TPI bike, you're like, that sucks. It doesn't really because I'm old school. I'm a two-stroke guy. It's not hard to mix gas. I like mixing gas in my two-strokes. And for me, it's like, that's just the way it works, right? So now you're back on fuel injection and you still got to mix gas, so it's proper. I like that way. Thank you to Tim Ritchie over at Redbud for allowing us to ride these bikes at his facility. It's amazing. I've been here once before, and every time I come back here, I'm like, why don't I live back east? I should live back east, but I don't. It's nice to be here. The new KTM line is coming August, September. Watch out. Stay tuned for more tests, racerxonline.com.